I've actually been teasing this video for time now. It's about time that I actually delivered. Gintoki is quite the elusive guy. He never actually talks about or gives any inner monologue on his serious thoughts about his past or feelings really. When his past is brought up in the anime, someone else is always telling the story. He's such an enigma that no one truly understands. All we can do is make assumptions based off his actions from afar. That's the aura this guy's giving off. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. If you're a returning subscriber. If you're not, welcome to the party. Welcome to my channel. Hit the subscribe button and join the family. We like to talk anime here. We also do a lot of hot takes on said anime. I don't have a set schedule yet, so turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any uploads. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, let's jump right into this video. Gintoki Sakata is by far one of the most well-crafted protagonists I've seen in a shonen anime. Actually, in anime in general. He's such an unconventional shonen protagonist and completely defies our expectations for his character. Going into any traditional shonen, the main protagonist is usually expected to be young and somewhere between the age range of 12 to 16. Even when they look like a grown man with kids, just trust that they are a young adult. They're not fooling me. Someone tell this guy to go pick up his child at the daycare center. 2, they are usually filled with courage and on the road to a particular goal, which is usually so out of reach, like becoming some kind of king or reaching some kind of higher ranked status. If it's not that, then they're probably trying to obtain a mythological object or something that'll result in a lot of power. There are some live versions from this trope, if you will, in recent media where the main lead has less of a far-fetched goal, for example in Demon Slayer, but it still stands. 3, they're usually more or less an idiot.
理由ってそいつに直接聞くのか？あいつらが教えてくれるわけねえだろうが。ああ、バカですよーだ。バカだから分かってても確かめたいの。
4, they're usually some kind of underdog or novice or rookie or just anyone unskilled. That'll probably be your guy. And lastly 5, they are forgiving souls. I kid you not. Most of these guys will forgive you as long as you say sorry. Killed my family? I say. Took my girl?
We need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Was about to destroy civilization as we know it? Just say you're sorry and we'll let bygones be bygones. These are usually the main characteristics in a shonen lead. There's obviously a lot more tropes associated with them, like a tragic past and whatnot, but for me these are the core traits. However, in Gintoki, we see none of these traditional traits. Where he should be young, he's a grown adult in his mid-20s. Where he should be breaking his back, working towards achieving some outlandish goal, he's lazy as hell with no ambitions, and he's just taking on life as it comes. Instead of being an absolute twat, he's not. It's kind of hard to be when you've seen the horrors of war. He's not the underdog of the story or some novice learning the ropes. He's already a living legend, a war hero, known as the white-haired demon. And lastly, Gintoki isn't a forgiven soul, and this is where I personally think his character takes more of a darker and more tragic turn. He can't forgive everybody. He struggles to forgive himself. So in short, he's the opposite of what a shonen protagonist should be. Gintoki is the outcome of his goal rather than the beginning of it. He's already completed the journey towards achieving it and experienced all the trials and tribulations, the pains and struggles attached onto his goal. But tragically, he failed in actually achieving it. The fairy tale stigma of work hard and reap the benefits associated with the stock shonen protagonist isn't the outcome for him. He's the embodiment of what am I supposed to do now? And at the beginning of the show, he's basically already dead inside. This is actually discreetly explored in the show with the characterization of his dead fish eyes. In the anime, it comes off as a running joke and simply part of his character. In the memory loss arc, it's sneakily revealed that there's actually a lot of significance in that minor detail in his character design. In the arc, Gintoki gets amnesia and Yamazaki ends up working at the same factory as him because he's on a secret op or whatever. But when he meets Jean there, he wonders if he's even the same guy because he's missing that dead look in his eyes. And I believe that's because for a short period, he was able to forget the tragedy that is his past. The burden of killing his sensei slash father figure at his sensei's request in order to save his friends, one of whom instantly directs all their hatred and anger at him for doing so, feelings he already feels towards himself. And it's honestly really sad to watch. Despite the tragedy that is Gintoki's character, oddly enough, in the anime, Sorachi doesn't seem to portray him in such a light. It's actually the fact that despite his past and the landslide of reason for Gintoki to throw in the towel and give into depression and his inner demons, he picks up his wooden sword time again and keeps living and fighting for the people he loves. He's the literal representation of hope. And this is completely juxtaposed by most of the antagonists and or villains in the show, such as Isaburo. I want to focus on one of the main villains of the series, Takasugi Shinsuke. Takasugi is unable to come to terms with how the world can sometimes just be cruel and dedicates his life to changing the world and avenging Shoyo, their sensei. These parallel ideologies make the pair act as great character foils for one another. Through them, we're given greater insight into Gintoki. Where Takasugi seeks change, Gintoki is simply just living in the moment. Where Takasugi is a slave to the past, Gintoki chooses to grow from it. The differences between them also puts a lot of things into perspective for Gin, as Gin could have easily turned out like Takasugi, and it would have actually been completely warranted. Takasugi is arguably Gintoki's alter ego, and vice versa. I remember reading a comment a while back that said something along the lines of, Gintoki is addicted to sweet things because everything in his life has left a bitter taste in his mouth. He loves playing pachinko because he's addicted to the feeling of actually winning for a change. And I couldn't have said it better myself. Gintoki is just a broken man trying to learn how to live again. He doesn't fight because he wants power or to gain some kind of king-like status. He's already been there and done that. He just wants to experience those little moments with the people that have given his life meaning again, that have given him a reason to want to fight and to actually live. Sometimes life is a bitch and doesn't go your way, and then you have to find your purpose again. I definitely enjoy seeing this theme explored in an anime, as it's really rare to see, as it can only really be associated with an older main protagonist. This is also why I love Gintoki, because he's a shonen lead that's actually an adult, and it's nice to see that for a change, as an adult myself, instead of the 13-year-old idiot who's naive as all hell, and still believes that a bleeding peck on the cheek is the same thing as a marriage contract. I hope you lot enjoyed my take on the legendary character that is Gintoki Sakata, who is also my favorite character in anime of all time. Yeah, I'm a fangirl and I thought I made that pretty obvious. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and drop a comment down below to let me know if you want to see more Gintama content. I can literally talk about this anime forever. I'm also thinking of making this a series, so let me know if you want to see that too. And with that, I am out.